Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Gunpowder and Freedom. So, kind of unfortunately, this is going to be another video of me working at my house. I know probably the past dozen or so videos, there's a car, have consisted of me doing some sort of work over here with the carport tear down rebuild garage project that I've been slowly chipping away at. The point I'm at now is, as you guys saw in the last video, I got this retaining wall poured. We're ready for the first section of driveway. We're bringing the driveway out to the edge of this sidewalk here. Yeah, I'm pointing at it. That way, whenever I order the lumber for the garage, we can have them drop it right here. I don't have to worry about damaging brand new concrete, but this is still going to give us a nice smooth area to walk and work and, you know, eventually drive on before I actually replace this. The second part of the driveway is going to be getting replaced probably later in the fall. Once I get this stuff going, probably a few more weeks, I'm hoping to be back over at the property working there. You know, I really do miss that. Regardless what I'm doing over there, I always enjoy going over there, whether it's working or shooting guns or doing something. So this is priority numero uno right now, so we got to get this underway so that we can get back over there. So I'm going to get our 301 excavator that I have on the trailer off and show you guys what we have going on. Okay, now that the machine is off the trailer, first thing is first, I need to clear this hump of dirt and concrete. I'm just basically going to flatten that out for right now, give myself a nice flat area to work off of. This is the section here that needs some digging. Concrete height, if you can see it, is right above the tar line right there, that pencil line. I'm going to have that wrapping around, coming out here past my air conditioner unit to the edge of this wall. Then I'm going to have concrete coming out to about here-ish. Not completely level. Obviously, we want the water falling away from the house. So we're going to have a little bit of slope coming out. And then we're going to start our transition from about here down to the top of this step. I don't want to create another step there, so this section here, it might be on the little bit of a steeper side to get us to that point, but I don't think it's going to be anything super drastic. You know, we're going to have my air conditioner unit sitting on this so we can do away with these paver stones and cinder block, and then probably garbage cans here. That way, whenever you come walking up the steps, nice transition, you don't have another step to come up, and then the driveway is nice and flat through here. We want all of the water coming out, like I just said, but first we need 4 inches, at the very minimum, 4 inches of concrete right here at the corner of the steps. So this is all high. I need to dig this out and pull it that way after I flatten all this off. Okay, so all the machine work with 301 is done. I know that was only a couple minutes, but that saved me probably a couple hours of shovel work. We pulled all this back. That way, at the bare minimum, we can get 4 inches of concrete here. We're about 6 inches deep here, so that leaves me some room for some stone for our drainage underneath. And then we'll roll this side up to our appropriate height, wherever it's going to meet the wall right here. And then I went ahead and pulled it back, again, probably 6 inches or so right here, so I have some room for stone with the 301. That way I don't have to try to get in there with the skid loader, making this transition here with the machine flopping back and forth. Now all I have to do is clear all this out. I don't want to try to flatten this out and compact it with the machine. I don't want any settling to happen underneath this, so we're just going to go ahead, get rid of all of this mud, probably just pitch it over the hill, and replace it all with 2B limestone. I want to compact this really nice so that, again, no settling. We don't want any, shifting or anything of the driveway happening. And then, sorry, I'm trying to hurry and think about what I'm saying. So if I think of anything else, I'll do it in voiceover. Sorry for all the shakiness. I'm going to go ahead, run that machine up, grab some forming material, throw the skid loader on the trailer, and boogie back down here so I can get this going. Okay, so there is the shape of this pad that I want. Now, in case you're wondering, yes, I used a piece of 1x10 for this form. We are sticking up probably 4 inches higher than that. My form is coming in at a little bit of a, it's a little steep. Now, I knew this going into this, forming it up like that. So the bottom of my form isn't really at my concrete height here yet. And I'm tripping over my words. It's kind of late in the day, Sunday, and my back's bothering me. But we are going to put more of this step liner on this form. So it's going to come out with a little bit of fall up until about here, and then we're going to start getting a little steeper as we get closer to this step, because I want my concrete height to come in at the top of this step. And then the new driveway will just kind of encase around that step. We're going to have a cut going from corner of house to corner of step out. Maybe we won't do that. I don't know. Cut layout is so far down the road. I'm getting ahead of myself. Like I said, it's Sunday afternoon. My back hurts. Trying to debate on whether or not I want to get a skid loader down here. But I just realized right now, as I stand here, that whenever we build the new garage, I am going to have a little bit of a gutter right here, this section here, because the wall's going to come up. So I'm going to need a downspout right here. And I'm really glad I thought of this, because this would suck if I forgot about the downspout. I need to dig up the drain pipe that was somewhere through here, find that, and tomorrow get that pipe stubbed up before I pour concrete. Wow, am I glad I thought of that. That would have been really bad. So I got my shovel right there. I'm going to hopefully dig and not further injure my back. So let's see if we can get this dug. Okay, so without trying to further hurt my back, I've dug down, I found the pipe, and exposed it. Now, if you've heard me talk in previous videos about how I like to run the pipe, how my dad showed me, I always like to put the lettering on the top. Right there is a prime example. That way, a little bit of water, get it cleaned off. I'll be able to tell exactly what pipe that was, although just pushing on it with my thumb, you can see that flexes. So that tells me this is just regular sewer and drain pipe. That is exactly the reason why I ran Schedule 40 over here. I wanted to make sure that eventually over time, if there is some sort of weight or pressure up against that pipe, it wasn't ever going to bend or break or, you know, bow or whatever. So Schedule 40 is a lot stronger, you know, even at the very top where it should be the weakest, you're not getting any flex there. So now tomorrow after work, I need to get 2 90s for regular sewer and drain pipe. We're going to run this, we're just going to cut it, run a 90, bring it straight towards the wall, and then another 90 with it stubbing up. Concrete height is right about here, so we want to make sure we have about 3 feet of pipe coming up so we can put a cap on it, so that whenever we do the framing and everything after that's all done and we're working on downspouts, we can drop a put a downspout drop right off the corner of this, loop it over, and then just bring it straight down the siding. Right there, it'll terminate, it runs down there and goes somewhere down into the hill. So that's the plan. That's why it's always important to know, kind of to think ahead and to figure out how you're going to do stuff, because, you know, it's pretty easy to just sit here and say, all right, I need to get this formed and poured and blah blah blah, and then, you know, a couple months down the road, I'm at that point, it's, oh crap, what do I do with the water that's coming off this roof? I don't want to run it across the garage door. So if you've never done anything like this before, it's very, very important to think ahead and try to think about everything before, you know, you start doing stuff like this. Because had I been thinking, I probably would have just run this piece of pipe over in front of the garage, poured the concrete around it so it was still all solid and sealed there, and just brought it up and around, and just like that. That way it's all tied together. I know that it's all going that way, and that's what I would have done if I thought about it, but I didn't. So luckily I have this pipe here from the old drain, so that's that. Yeah, see you guys tomorrow. Okay, so here's what I ended up doing, and actually I'm glad this is like this, because in previous videos I always talk about how whenever I run pipe, I like the lettering to be up. That way I know exactly what I'm dealing with. If in 10 or 15 years I need to dig something up, or if the next homeowners need to dig something up, they know exactly what it is. So I ran this pipe with the lettering out. This pipe needs shifted. Now this is all dry fit. I'm not backfilling it just yet. I need to get glue. I realized whenever I started doing this, I'm out of glue, so I need glue for these. But this is a piece of 3-inch Schedule 40. They had a Fernco on it, and that one I was pushing on earlier out here was sewer and drain. This is Schedule 40, which is really nice to see. So I took a Fernco, a 3-inch Fernco, to a 4-inch. It's an adapter. Stubbed my 90 right into that. It was a perfect fit. It's nice and tight. Then from there I ran just regular sewer and drain up. Gave it a nice little 45 so that this piece is nice and straight. And then I held it in a couple inches, so then that way whenever I run my downspout, I can zip tie or do something with these cable lines behind that the down pipe for the downspout. We ran this a little bit taller than what we needed because our concrete height is here, so I'll paint the top of that, drop a downspout adapter on the top of that, and this is ready to go. So once I get this glued, I can backfill it. But I have a meeting, so I need to get my notebook, jump in my truck, and go to that. So I'll see you guys back here in a little bit. Okay, so I got the skid loader down here to move all this dirt. I glued my downspout pipe. We are ready for grade. Also have my line chalked on my wall there, so I know exactly where concrete height's going to be. I have the same thing over here on this wall, so let's get everything set up and get grading. Okay, so the gravel, the 2B limestone is in. Now, if you noticed, kind of over in this area, and I'm sure you can see it now, is there is a little bit of sand mixed in with that. No big deal. I had some sand left over right next to my gravel pile from when my buddy Donnie was here doing the block work. I had sand here for the mortar, a little bit left over that just got mixed in with the stone. That is no big deal. What you don't want to do is pour directly on top of just all sand. If you do that, the sand will sink, it will settle, and you'll be left with a mess. It's a little bit of sand mixed in with 2B limestone, so I feel confident that it's all going to be locked together just like it would any other time. Now that we have the stone in, we can go ahead and put our fiberglass rebar in. I don't think I'm going to be drilling in to my wall or the house. I would really like this area just to be kind of its own entity. That way, if it ever wants to shift, we have a couple different angles here with this corner. We have this corner here. So I kind of want, if any movement's going to happen, I would like that to be able to happen. I don't want it to be locked into something. So I'm going to go ahead and throw the rebar in, and then I need to bring down some epifoam joint to wrap everything with, as well as some step liner. This form over here, I'm going to put step liner on it. That way I can bump this form out and run it right next to my step, and this will all just kind of blend right in. That way when you're standing down looking at the porch, looking up here past those ugly propane tanks that I still need to plant tall grass around, you'll see a nice finished face that matches the step. So tomorrow morning I'm going to go ahead and do that. We need to lift up the air conditioner unit, and yeah, concrete's coming tomorrow morning, so I'll see you guys then. Don't be late, to quote my dad.